In the grand palace of Etheria, amidst the bustling staff and the whispers of nobility, lived a young servant named Layla. Her life was a tapestry woven with humility and quiet strength. Each day began before the sun peeked over the horizon. Layla would be up, her hands already busy with her duties. Despite the long hours and the often thankless nature of her work, Layla carried herself with grace and a gentle spirit. Her smile, when offered, was as warm and welcoming as the morning sun. It was as though her spirit, untouched by the envy and ambition that swirled around her, found solace in the simple rhythm of service. And it was this very purity of heart that set her apart. King Arman, the ruler of Etheria, was known for his just heart and wisdom. He ruled with his people in mind, always striving to create a kingdom where prosperity and peace reigned. However, the weight of the crown pressed heavily upon him. He yearned to know his people better, to understand their joys and sorrows beyond the gilded cages of his palace. He longed for genuine connections, for conversations where he was not King Arman, but simply a man. One day, driven by this yearning, he decided to shed the trappings of royalty. He donned the simple clothes of a commoner and ventured out into his kingdom. He was determined to walk among his people, to see their world through their eyes, and to hear their stories from their own lips. Little did he know, this journey would lead him to a heart more precious than any jewel in his treasury. The marketplace was alive with activity. Merchants hawked their wares, children chased each other through the crowded stalls, and the air hummed with a vibrant energy. Arman, disguised as a commoner, found himself drawn to a melodious voice. It flowed through the bustling marketplace, soothing and calming amidst the chaos. He followed the sound and came face to face with Layla. She was arranging flowers, her touch gentle, her voice weaving a spell of tranquility. Her head was bent in concentration, her brow furrowed slightly as she worked. He observed her for a while, captivated by her serene presence. He realized he had never truly seen a person so content, so at peace, amidst the clamor of life. Mustering his courage, Arman, still in disguise, approached Layla. He inquired about the flowers, his voice blending with the sounds of the marketplace. Layla looked up, her eyes widening slightly in surprise. She responded to his questions with a quiet grace, her voice as soothing as he remembered. What began as a simple conversation about flowers blossomed into something more. They spoke of everyday life, of dreams and aspirations. Layla, unaware of the true identity of the man before her, spoke with an openness that touched Arman's heart. He was captivated by her genuine spirit, her kindness, and the wisdom that shone through her simple words. With each passing encounter, Arman found himself more and more drawn to Layla's light. He would create excuses to cross paths with her, his heart yearning for the moments they shared amidst the bustle of the palace. As days turned into weeks, Arman realized he could no longer keep his true identity hidden. He had fallen deeply in love with Layla's pure heart, her genuine spirit a beacon in his world of shadows and pretense. He knew he had to reveal himself, to show Layla the depth of his feelings. So, one evening under the soft glow of the setting sun, Arman invited Layla for a walk in the palace gardens. With a heart full of apprehension and hope, he confessed his true identity. He spoke of his admiration for her, of how her kindness and wisdom had touched his soul. Then, looking into her surprised eyes, he confessed his love and offered her his hand in marriage, asking her to be not just his queen, but his partner, his confidant. The weight of the revelation hung heavy in the air between them. Layla, shocked and overwhelmed, found it hard to comprehend the words spoken by the king. The man she had come to care for, the man who had shared stories and laughter with her, was the king she served. It was a truth that took time to settle in her heart. Yet through it all, she felt the sincerity in Arman's words, the genuineness of his feelings. She saw in his eyes not the arrogance of a king, but the longing of a man who had found solace in her company. And in that moment of clarity, Layla realized she had fallen in love with the man, not the king. With a heart full of trepidation, but unwavering trust in the man she loved, Layla accepted Arman's proposal. The news of the king's decision spread through the kingdom like wildfire. The nobility was aghast, their whispers echoing through the halls of the palace. How could their king choose a humble servant as his queen? But Amun was unmoved by their disapproval. He knew in his heart that Layla was the missing piece in his life, the queen his kingdom needed. Their coronation was a celebration of love and humility. Layla, radiant in her simplicity, stood beside Amun, her hand clasped tightly in his. In that moment, it wasn't just two individuals who were united, but two souls, two visions for a better future. Section 8. Reign of Love and Wisdom. Layla's transition from servant to queen was remarkable. She embraced her new role with the same grace and humility that had defined her life as a servant. She knew that true power lay not in commanding, but in understanding and serving her people. She walked amongst them, listened to their concerns, and offered help where needed. Her wisdom, born from years of observing life from the sidelines, now guided the throne. She became a trusted advisor to Amun, her insights proving invaluable in matters of the kingdom. Section 9. Prosperity and Peace. Under their joint rule, Etheria flourished. Amun's strength and Layla's compassion created a balance that was felt throughout the kingdom. Justice and fairness prevailed, and the people prospered. Layla's influence was subtle yet profound. She encouraged education, established libraries, and promoted the arts. She believed that true wealth lay not in gold and jewels, but in knowledge and creativity. Her initiatives fostered unity and understanding amongst the people, creating a sense of community that had been missing for years. Section 10. The Power of Humility. Layla's story became a legend, a testament to the power of humility and kindness. She proved that true nobility lay not in blood but in the purity of one's heart. Her journey from servant to queen inspired many, reminding them that even in the grandest of palaces, it was the simplest acts of kindness that truly mattered. She showed that love could blossom in the most unexpected of places, and that sometimes the greatest treasures were found not in riches and power, but in the quiet corners of the human heart. Section 11. A Queen Remembered. Years later, long after Layla had passed, her story continued to be told and retold throughout the kingdom. She was remembered not just as a queen, but as a symbol of hope, a beacon of kindness in a world often consumed by darkness. Her legacy lived on, woven into the very fabric of Etheria, a constant reminder that greatness could be found not in power and might, but in the enduring power of a kind and humble heart.